Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game of Thrones. We're going to be reacting to Season 7, Episode 3. I'm excited for this. It'll be interesting to see what happened. I want to notate a couple things. I didn't really mention at the end of the video. I was thinking about it, but I didn't say it. I was kind of tired because it was late at night when I was finishing editing, trying to get it posted as soon as I could. So I apologize for the delay. Today is Sunday, so we should have no problem whatsoever getting this live on a Thursday. I just had some other things going on in real life. Regardless, I wanted to showcase Gus commented. Well, he private messaged me on Discord, but he was just saying I completely missed the point of the last battle. I did actually get the point. Obviously, by him taking the leader, the queen of the group that killed Cersei's daughter, like that is a big present, a worthy gift for the proposed marriage. So I did understand that, like that's why they didn't just kill them or anything. They're taking them to Cersei, and I mean she's probably going to marry the guy. But it does kind of foil the plans of Khaleesi a little bit. Things just didn't go as smooth as they were hoping. I would imagine, I mean, they seem to take out most of their ships. They captured the leaders, so that takes away two armies that Khaleesi had, and they were kind of a big part of the armies, I realized I realized that the one army is still at home, or two armies are still at home, because they were going back. And sorry, I don't remember locations and names very well, but they were going back to retrieve the army and then to go to King's Landing, and they foiled their plans. So I don't know how they're going to react or what they're going to do instead of this. Jon Snow is still planning to go to visit them, and maybe he'd be a good ally. But again, if you lost two leaders that join you, so. That's not good. That's not good. You still got your three dragons though, and as the one old lady said, be a dragon. So we'll see what she does. We'll see what she does. It'll be interesting to see. But I'm really enjoying this show. I truly am. Sometimes I make comments. Gus was making fun of me for being worried about them closing the door before they had sex last episode. I don't know why that just bothered me. Just close your freaking door. I don't know. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, but it just bothered me. But yeah, it's a good show, really good show. There's a lot of things to react to. It's not boring in any way. There's all different parts. I want to see how Sam's doing after his procedure with the gentleman. I hope he healed him. Like I hope whatever he did fixes it and it doesn't continue to spread. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, but holy cow, that was brutal. That was brutal to watch. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's just jump into it. Leave a like if you're excited for more Game of Thrones, and let's get it going. Here we go. Game of Thrones. Oh boy. Where are we starting off?
The bastard of Winterfell. The dwarf of Casterly Rock. I believe we lost each other at top of the wall. You were pissing off the edge, if I remember right. Picked up some scars along the road.
It's been a long road, but we're both still here. I'm Tyrion Lannister.
Davos Seaworth.
The Onion Knight. We fought on opposite sides at the Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Unluckily for me.
If you wouldn't mind handing over your weapons.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. But I mean, it makes sense, I guess, to some degree. That way they can just make sure nobody dies, you know? because she doesn't. I don't think she's planning to hang Jon Snow or anything, or burn him alive with their dragons. But I guess it just make sure no blood is shed, or no blood is shed. But yeah, I like the interaction with Tyrion and Jon Snow. I like that they're kind of friendly towards each other. You know, they haven't been around each other a ton, but they have. You know, they know of each other and have been around a little bit.
To be honest, I was drunk for most of it.
My bannermen think I'm a fool for coming in.
Of course they do. If I was your hand, I would have advised against it. General rule of thumb. Stark men don't fare well when they travel south.
True. But I'm not a Stark.
I'd say you get used to them. But you never really do. Come. The mother's waiting for you.
Yeah, I would have reacted the same way. Get to the ground! Oh, man. And they do a great job. Look at their shock, you know? Just look at that. That's amazing. I mean, it would be super amazing to see a dragon in real life, you know? And they've heard the tales and all that and didn't know if it was true. And sure enough, holy cow, this is awesome. This is awesome.
I didn't take you for a bashful girl.
My time whispering in the ears of kings has come to an end.
Oh, I doubt that.
Because of mistakes I made. Terrible mistakes. I would only be a distraction if I stayed. I have to die in this strange country. Just like you.
Wow. I do like that she was willing to admit that they were mistakes. That she made mistakes. I think that speaks to her as a person. That she's willing to admit that. At the same time, though, you know, she did make those mistakes. But, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but not everybody burns a child at the stake, you know? So, is it the unforgivable? It is, according to Jon Snow. He told her to get lost. Not in those exact words, but pretty much. I don't know. It's interesting, though. She said Lord Varys has to die here, too, so... Maybe she's seen something in the flames.
This is Jon Snow. He's king in the north.
Yeah, he's king of the north. Not a breaker of trains, not a mother of chains, not a mother of dragons. But yeah, he's king of the north. That's funny.
So I assume, my lord, you're here to bend the knee.
I am not.
No. Well, that is unfortunate. You've traveled all this way to break faith with House Targaryen?
Break faith? Your father burned my grandfather alive.
Then why are you here?
Because I need your help, and you need mine.
Did you see 3 dragons flying overhead when you arrived?
I did.
And did you see...
I like that he won't bend the knee. I mean, maybe it's a sign of respect or something. I mean, it is a sign of respect to bend the knee, but it's... She's very forceful. I mean, they take their weapons and she demands that he bows before her. I don't like that. I mean, it's interesting to hear the history about it and their families and how they used to work together and stuff and Jon's take on it and her take on it. But I agree. Don't bend the knee. You know, you can be allies, but you don't need to. You need to worship each other. I don't know. I mean, I know it's not a worship thing, but I don't know. I like that Jon Snow, he's a king. He doesn't need to bend the knee to anybody.
I understand that. It sounds like nonsense. But if destiny has brought Daenerys Targaryen back to our shores, it has also made Jon Snow king in the north. You were the first to bring Dothraki to Westeros. He is the first to make allies of wildlings and Northmen. He was named Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. He was named King in the North. Not because of his birthright. He has no birthright. He's a damn bastard. All those hard sons of bitches chose him as their leader because they believe in him. All those things you don't believe in, he faced those things. He fought those things for the good of his people. He risked his life for his people. He took a knife in the heart for his people. He gave his own...
Yeah, they won't believe that either. But he did. He did. He died for his people. I like that he's speaking up for him. You know, he's a good hand of the king, you know? He's saying all the true stuff. And it's a shame she doesn't understand or doesn't believe the dead are coming, but she'll have to believe it at some point. You know, when they breach the wall, it's going to be too late probably, but they're coming. They're here. They'll be here in no time.
Am I your prisoner?
Not yet.
It's a shame she doesn't believe him. We've all seen it. But, you know, it would be hard to believe without seeing. It's the same with the dragons. You know, not everybody believes that she has dragons until they see it. You know? So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. But it's interesting. She says they're not her prisoners. But yet... I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Be very interesting.
Your sister's dead.
Euron has her.
You saw him take her. But you got away.
I couldn't save her. I tried.
You wouldn't be here if you tried.
Very good observation skills. He would not be here if he tried to save her. He wouldn't. I mean, things could have ended differently. I don't know if it would have been with Theon Greyjoy dying and Yara dying. I don't know. I mean, he should have tried. He should have tried, but it might end up being better that he didn't. For him, specifically. I don't know about Yara. I think Yara's done for.
Did you see little Theon's face right before he jumped overboard?
Oh no! What a twat!
This is all moving so fast. It's moving so fast. It was just, I think, episode 1 where he said he'd go and bring her something worthy of getting married, and here he is back already. Wow, it is moving so fast. But it's interesting how the people always have rotten stuff to throw at people, you know? I guess just bad food. They store it somewhere. They're like, oh, let's keep this for later.
All yours. They're just like severed heads, really. Listen, if you have any advice at all, I would love to hear it. When we have an hour or two to speak as brothers. Advice? Does she like it gentle or rough? A finger in the bum. Not now. We'll talk
later. This guy's nuts. I like him. He is crazy. I didn't think I liked him at first, but the more he's in this show, the better he gets. This actor is doing an incredible job. His eyes, man, you can just see his nuts. He's nuts. I don't think he's Ramsay level of nuts, but he's nuts. I like it.
We all make our choices.
You chose to murder my daughter. You must have felt powerful after you made that choice. Do you feel powerful now? I don't sleep very well. Not at all, really. I lie in bed and I stare at the canopy and imagine ways of killing my enemies. How to destroy Ilaria Sand, the woman who murdered my only daughter.
You know, it is interesting seeing two evil ladies go at it, you know? Cersei's got the control right now, but, you know, in the past, I mean, she doesn't always have this control. I don't know, it's interesting, you know? Because I don't really like either of the ladies, but it does bring an interesting twist to the show.
I thought about having Sir Gregor crush your skull the way he did Oberyn's. Would be poetic, I suppose, but fast, too fast. All the while contemplating the choices you've made. Make sure the guards change the torches every few hours. I don't want her to miss a thing.
Very clever. Very clever. That is awesome. When two evils unite. Oh, that's great. Wow, what a great way to pay respect to your daughter. You know, have somebody else's daughter that killed your daughter watch the same thing happen to their daughter. I like it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Slaves.
The slave trade has entered a downturn, it's true.
From what I gather, she considers herself more of a revolutionary than a monarch. In your experience, how do bankers usually fare with revolutionaries? The Lannisters owe the Iron Man quite a lot of money, but Lannisters always pay their debts. To former slaves, or Dothraki, or dragons.
Your father's daughter, indeed.
Give me a fortnight. Stay in King's Landing as my honored guest, and when you return to Braavos, I swear to you, my debt will be paid in full.
Interesting. I like that finances are a part of this, and it makes sense, and it happens. I mean, it's just the way the world works, you know. But it's cool to see that aspect of the show, you know, that they focus on every little detail, you know. Well, not every little detail, but you know, the reason I say not every little detail is like we don't see the boring parts, like them traveling from place to place. Like all of a sudden they just get there. You know, we see some of the traveling, but for the most part, the show it moves, it progresses pretty well. But I'd like that they throw in the aspect about the finances. You know, without money, what are you gonna do? You know, gold wins wars. I like that. That's good. That's good.
The dead are coming for us all.
Why don't you figure out what to do about my missing fleet and murdered allies? And I'll figure out what to do about your walking dead men.
It's hard for me to fathom, it really is. If someone told me about the White Walkers and the Night King... You probably don't believe me.
I do, actually. White Walkers, the Night King, Army of the Dead. It's almost a relief to confront a comfortable, familiar monster like my sister.
I need to help prepare my people for what's coming. I can't help them from here. I'd like to leave.
It seems unlikely that you became king in the north by giving up that easily. While you're our guest here, you might consider asking them what they think of the Mad King's daughter. She protects people from monsters, just as you do. That's why she came here. And she's not about to head north to fight an enemy she's never seen on the word of a man she doesn't know. After a single meeting, it's not a reasonable thing to ask. So do you have anything reasonable to ask?
What do you mean?
Maybe you are a northern fool. I'm asking if there's something I can do to help you.
Dragon glass.
Yes, volcanic glass.
I like it. I like it. Tyrion is amazing. I love Tyrion. And I love Jon Snow and their interactions. It's great. You know, they both have trouble. They both have problems, you know, but the two of them together, you know, I just like it. He's like, I'll take your problem. You take my problem. I think that's great. It's great. It's a friendship is brewing. You know, they're already friendly towards each other, but I like it. I like it very much.
Are you trying to present your own statements as ancient wisdom?
I would never do that. To you. The reason I believe Jon Snow is because he's here. All of his advisors would have told him not to come. I would have told him not to come. And he's here anyway.
What was that Sir Davos said? About taking a knife in the heart for his people. Did you notice that?
You must allow them their flights of fancy. It's dreary in the north.
Interesting. You know, it would be so much easier if everyone just believed each other. But what makes it hard is there are so many liars in this world. And I don't know. But this is smart. This is smart. He's still getting what he needs, which is the dragon glass. And in return, maybe he'd help her out too. And he would. You know, he doesn't like the Lannisters. So of course he'd help. But, you know, if he doesn't get anything out of it, what's the point? I don't know. I don't know. It could take a very long time to mine the dragon glass, though. You know, how much is he going to be able to leave with and create weapons and all that, unless her people help them mine it? Because he doesn't have anyone there to mine it. So I don't know. It's just all so great. This is great. I'm really enjoying this episode quite a bit.
So you believe me then about the Night King and the army of the dead?
You'd better get to work, Jon Snow.
That's awesome. She didn't admit that she believed him because she might not believe him. But the fact that they're going to allow them to mine and they're going to help them do it and forge weapons, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, he said thanks, but was he getting return? Was he giving in return, I should say? I mean, if she does believe him, he's giving her protection against the White Walkers and the dead, you know? He's the front line, you know, him and the wildlings and everything, they're right there at the wall. So if she even believes him even slightly, I mean, he could be able to save them. I mean, he needs their help, I'm sure, but it's a start.
Command suits you. The Northerners are all facing north, worried about the threat from beyond the wall.
So they should be.
I know Cersei better than anyone here. If you turn your back on her...
You don't know Cersei better than anyone here.
I only meant to say...
That the woman who murdered my mother, father, and brother is dangerous. Thank you for your wise counsel.
One of two things will happen. Either the dead will defeat the living, in which case all our troubles come to an end, or life will win out. And what then? Don't fight in the north or the south. Fight every battle, everywhere, always, in your mind. Everyone is your enemy. Everyone is your friend. Every possible series of events is happening all at once. Live that way, and nothing will surprise you. Everything that happens will be something that you've seen before.
Okay. Wise words. This guy, I told you, he's playing a game. He's playing on a whole nother level that nobody else is playing on, and it's amazing. Everybody is your friend. Everybody is your enemy. Fight all battles at once in your mind. Oh man, to have his level of intelligence to be able to play like that with your head, like that's amazing. That's awesome. That's the kind of mind I want. Well, I don't know if I want that. I have a little bit of Peter Baelish mind myself, but they have me taking medicine for it.
Hello, Sansa.
It's interesting that Bran is he's just so, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, he's no longer Bran, he's the three-eyed raven. It's interesting. It's kind of like Arya is no longer Arya, she's no one. I mean, she still is Arya and he still is Bran, but they've changed so much. Sansa's changed so much too. They've showcased Sansa more frequently than the others, but Bran, I mean, Sansa did a great job. She's happy to see her brother. Bran doesn't seem to care. He seems dead inside. I don't know. And maybe that's just the way it is. I don't know. Very interesting. So he's no longer Bran. He's the three-eyed raven. It's difficult to understand, difficult to explain. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, he's like, is he still partly Bran? I mean, he is, but he's not. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. He's doing a good job as an actor, but I felt like there should be more of Stark left in him, and there just really isn't.
Don't know anything about that. I just started feeling better. I assumed it was the rest that did it. I owe my life. Her. And you.
Your father saved me more than once. It's the least I could do.
Perhaps our paths will cross again.
I hope they do.
It's awesome. That's awesome. I was in my head, I was like, I wonder why he's hesitating. And then I remembered, well, because of the touch, the infection. So, but he's no longer infected. That's awesome. He cured him. Way to go, Sam. What an incredible thing to do, and way to honor his dad, by saving his son. What an incredible thing. This is awesome. Amazing. Good job, Sam. Good job. Well done.
That man is alive because of you. You should be proud.
Thank you, Archmaester.
Come here. All these manuscripts and scrolls are rotting away. I need you to make copies of them. You were expecting a reward. Your reward is not being immediately expelled from the Citadel. You'd better get started. Be careful of the paper mites. They like flesh as well.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm so glad he healed him. Way to go, Sam. Way to go. That's so great. He didn't get in trouble either. He didn't get a reward, but he didn't get expelled. Oh, that's awesome. I wonder how his wife's doing. We haven't seen her and little Sam in quite some time. So hopefully they're doing okay. They weren't allowed in the library. I remember that much.
But he didn't build the sewers. That was beneath him. So he gave the job to the lowest person he could find. Me. He was right. I was low. The company I kept, low. Women mostly. They weren't welcome at the Rock. Father disapproved of that sort of behavior. Couldn't walk them through the front gates. I couldn't have them in my chambers. So in the process of building the sewers, I threw in something for myself. It was a passage that began in an out-of-the-way cove by the sea and ended beneath one of the main guard towers. No better place for low pursuits than beneath the ground. Casterly Rock is an impregnable fortress. But as a good friend of mine once said, give me 10 good men, and I'll impregnate the bitch.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yup. Give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch. What the heck? But still, very cool. Very cool.
Dorion Bas.
Inkasonesko Sidri Himbezi. Cara Sigri.
Where are they? Where are the rest of the Lannisters?
Wow. Okay. Wow. The game of chess continues. Holy cow. It is very interesting. I liked them showcasing the battle with Lord Tyrion telling a story. I thought that was cool. I'd like to see battles. I'd like to see more of the battle. I think we still will, but I did think they did a good job with that. I mean, heck, 2 battles in a row. Like, we're just getting all kinds of battles. You know, it's interesting because I've heard some people don't like season 7 and season 8 as much, and I'm really enjoying this. I think this is really great. I think this is good. I like it. I like it. Holy cow. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, Lannister's making moves. Holy cow. Yeah. This is crazy. And here I was saying I didn't think Cersei would be queen very long. She's making some good moves, taking out Khaleesi's allies. Jeez.
And you took your army, your real army, and went where they weren't.
As Robb Stark did to me at Whispering Wood. There are always lessons in failures.
Yes. You must be very wise by now.
My father always said I was a slow learner.
If he was so clever, why didn't he take High Garden the moment your gold mines ran dry? I suppose I'll be able to ask him myself soon enough. No more learning from my mistakes, eh? How will you do it? With that sword? That was Joffrey's sword, wasn't it? Not that he ever used it. What did he call it?
Widow's Wail.
He really was a cunt, wasn't he? I did unspeakable things to protect my family. Or watch them being done on my orders.
Not much to be gained from discussing it with you, though, is there?
What better person to discuss it with? What better guarantee could you have that The things you say will never leave this room. But perhaps you're right. If she's driven you this far, it's gone beyond your control.
Yes. It has.
She's a disease. I regret my role in spreading it. You will too.
I think we're done here.
Will there be pain?
No, I made sure of that.
That's good. Skin purple. Must have been horrible for you. As a king's guard, as a father. It was horrible enough for me. A shocking scene. Not at all what I intended. You see,
Wow. Wow. I like that lady. I like that lady a lot. Good scene. Good scene. Good episode. Great season so far. Man, this is pretty incredible. This is a damn good show. Well, I will rewatch this episode and give you my thoughts here in a bit. See you soon.
I'd let you marry that beast, do you?
She beats him in the middle of her own death scene, and there's nothing he can do about it. And he knows it's true the moment she says it.
Tell Cersei. I wanted to know it was me.
We've been so...
Yeah, it was a really good scene there at the end. I thought she did a great job. I mean, all throughout the show, I really enjoyed her. Her character. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I think, it was a great episode. I really strong start to this season 7. All right, a couple notes here at the end. I appreciate everybody watching and sticking with me. Angela did leave a comment saying that they'd wish I'd stop using last names when I'm referring to folks like Sansa or Tyrion. So I'm going to work on doing that just because it's a pet peeve of theirs, and I'm not trying to irritate anyone. That's not my intentions by doing these reaction videos. So that's something that's easy. I should be able to cut out last names. I think to myself like what the name is, and then I say the full name. So as long as everybody's understanding, I'm not saying stuff to try to piss people off. Like, that's not my intentions. It's just more for entertainment. I want to entertain, and I want you guys to enjoy seeing my first time reaction to it. But yeah, I know I said in the episode season 7 and season 8, some people thought the show wasn't as good. I think it's still incredible. I'm really glad I went back and watched the behind the scenes there at the end because I forgot to watch it on Sunday when I filmed this. Today is now Tuesday. We're just finishing editing things. But, it was good to see that behind the scenes. It always is. See the writers and everything and learn more about their take on the show and how things went and why they did what they did. So, yeah, I mean, overall... It's great. I agree full-heartedly, though, with the writers that, it looked a little lopsided. It looked like Khaleesi was going to easily take the throne, and now it's not looking so easy anymore. She's still got the 3 dragons, which I think is, going to help a lot as long as they don't get killed quickly by Cersei. So, yeah. It's also going to be interesting to see if Jaime actually goes to Cersei and tells her what happened to Joffrey, or if he'll keep that to himself. I don't know. I mean, I feel like he probably shouldn't keep it from her, but it might be a hard conversation to have, especially when she's in the mindset that she is now. She doesn't have any children anymore. She doesn't really care about anything anymore other than her ruling. That's her main focus, is herself now. And she doesn't really have anyone else to fight for, so other than perhaps Jaime. But yeah, great episode, Great season so far. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again real soon with more Game of Thrones. Thanks for watching. Bye.